This is the future of steelmaking in Port Talbot, an electric arc furnace which makes steel by melting scrap metal.
So behind us you'll see a 7-ton furnace, which is significantly smaller than the EAF furnaces that are going to be built in Port Talbot.
This one in Middlesbrough is used for research to help the steel industry become more profitable and greener.
The shift to an arc furnace is part of Tata's ambitions to decarbonise. It will reduce direct CO2 emissions by 90% by sourcing 75% of raw materials from the UK. The arc furnace will melt 2 million tonnes of scrap metal every year, and that will replace 7 million tonnes of imported iron and coal. There's a huge sense of loss in Port Talbot today. What hope can you offer for the future?
Well, I think there's a great hope. The way I look at it is there's going to be a short-term constriction in terms of the activity in Port Talbot because it'll be the decommissioning of the blast furnaces. Then there'll come a period in 3 years' time where steel making starts up again. The future is all about growth in EAF, and those two furnaces coming into Port Talbot as EAF furnaces are going to be the start of what I think is something big going forward. Places like South Wales, Port Talbot, like Middlesbrough and Teesside here, they will attract that money because they've got all the infrastructure available in order to deliver this new technology on an industrial scale, and that is where people should hold out hope.
There are new low-carbon opportunities on the horizon, but is Wales ready to seize them?
I would say it's the first time I feel truly optimistic about the future of industry within the South Wales region. The primary reason for that is actually the deployment of floating offshore wind in the Celtic Sea. There's up to 16.5 gigawatts going to be deployed. The rate of that will go up to 1 gigawatt a year, and that means effectively for people who live here, they will see 2 massive structures going out onto sea, the size of the Eiffel Tower, on a weekly basis, and that all needs fabrication, that needs assembly, that needs steel to actually build all those structures, but it also then provides the long-term low-carbon power that is needed at a doorstep to make industry thrive again.
But is the supply chain here ready? Because if it isn't, we won't be able to capitalise on those opportunities.
And that's a fantastic, adequate question. That's a real kind of like worry still there, because I don't think we yet have the urgency and coordination to deliver some of these kind of supply chain challenges around that.
But, you know, a low carbon economy is nice to have, but they don't want their jobs to pay for it.
I think that's a very short-sighted way. This unprecedented level of investment we've seen with the electric arc furnace, because don't forget me, it's £1.2 billion, is a way of reinventing the steelworks, so it has actually a lasting future.
Historian Professor Louise Miskell says steel communities are used to change.
The steel industry has been through massive changes, over the last century. But at every stage, people in Port Talbot have embraced that change and have responded well to it, and the skills and talents you've got there. So there's lots of potential, I guess, for new investment.
The steelworks and this town are at a crossroads, having to let go of the past whilst the future is still to be forged. Carol Green, ITV News, Port Talbot.